Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the London Black Knights and the Denver Broncos. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, a catch by Coleman. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll set up to throw. Steps away to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jalen Smith in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. A first carry for Amir Abdullah. There he goes inside the 30. 20! And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
Dancing to his left. This will be caught at about the 6. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Stonewalled on 2nd down. Now let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal from the 2.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They run. Abdullah. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a tempo program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
A nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He'll drop it off to Perine, complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Here we go. Zebra. Rhino. Move.
Cousins to throw it. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking for Sanders here on the deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. He has been interception prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
Following the interception, Cousins. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. Flush to his right. And he comes back with one complete. And Hill running right through it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Give him 30 yards there. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Zebra.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Man open left side is Brown. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
Oh, babe, I can hear my smile on that play.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun. Detroit. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
They're going to try and throw. Forced out to his left. Throwing right, and that's complete. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. And what is going on here? Are they serious? 1st down, and they're in punt formation. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Throwing, Cousins, flushed out right. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he's able to get it back to the 33. 23-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Abdullah. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. But he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins, eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off. Linebacker Sean Lee. They'll drop the throw. Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Coleman has it here right side. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12.
Detroit, set, blue landing, blue landing.
They're going to look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That's taken on the 25. So if you an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. First down, here's Cousins. They'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And that one results in 35 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, here we go. Wide. Rhino. Go ahead.
Second down, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
We're going. Let's go.
Cousins from the gun on third. Eluding the pressure right. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And this is off the left, upright, and it caroms in. Not the most convincing kick you'll see, but he got it to go. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Watch it now, Barney. Back down to that Philly. Here we go. Let's go. Look at 56. Detroit. All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney. All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Space to run past the 20. Touchdown! Amir Abdullah, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
An update now from out in Southern California. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They start on the ground with Piron. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure.
Cousins gives this to P-Ryan. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Cousins a handoff. This is P-Ryan. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
All right, now here we go.
Cousins now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So out now comes the offense back onto the field.
Watch it now, Barney.
They start the drive with Abdullah. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
A very solid gain of 27. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They'll run again with P-Ryan. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a third down and about 9 to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Able to shake him off. Fighting to stay upright. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Denver. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.